Yes, people, what's going on? It's Egal Talks Football, and I'm back again with another video. And today's video is going to be a little bit different because we got a couple of little transfer stories to talk about before we get into the Q&A at the end. And the main story today is, of course, Arsenal Wonderkid Charlie Patino has been rumored that he will now be leaving the club for a while now, but it's been confirmed today by David Ornstein that Arsenal will be losing the youngster, and he will be leaving on a permanent transfer. And then in the summer. And on top of everything else, with that being said, they also were saying that not only are they going to sell him, not only is he going to be leaving on a permanent transfer, but there might be also expected buyback clause or something like that in the contract. So let's get into what they're talking about, and let me just show you guys everything that's been rumored today about Charlie Patino. And we'll also get into Mikel Arteta's press conference. We'll get into some of the other transfer stories, but let me know, how do you feel about Arsenal potentially showing this ruthlessness and potentially not only getting rid of Charlie Patino, but if they did also get rid of Balogun in the summer? Let me know what you guys think, because personally for me, I'm going to get into it in a second, but let me just show you guys the article before we go any further. Big up to everyone in the chat also. Let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Hope everybody's doing well. So yeah, Charlie Patino is expected to leave Arsenal on a permanent basis this summer. The talks have taken place with the club and who are ready to help facilitate the switch with growing interest within the UK and abroad. Reports coming out that the interests are not only Brighton, but there's some other clubs also down in the Championship also. He has been relegated, the team that he's currently playing for, which is, I think is it Blackburn or is it Blackpool? Blackpool. So yeah, he's playing for Blackpool. So Arsenal are going to help facilitate the transfer move for Charlie Patino. Now, let me just show you guys this. This is what they're saying. They're saying that there is an expected Arsenal buyback clause for Charlie Patino. That is great in the case that he does turn out to be a lot better than the board or the people back in the club currently expect him to become. But I'm also seeing other things, like people saying that we are way more invested in Charlie Patino than the board actually are in Charlie Patino, because I know this guy right here is a top tier source when it comes to lineups and things that he knows about the club, and he's reported that fans are a lot more invested in Patino than the club are invested, and it's been like that. It's been like that for a while now. Now, I'm just gonna say this: Patino is a youngster. He's an Arsenal Academy graduate. He's a young player that we all want to see all these graduates get into the team and do well, right? We all want that. But I want to know what you guys think, because the reports coming out that Charlie Patino is leaving, although it is somewhat like sad to see, we do wish him the best. We do hope for him the best. And at this moment in time, I kind of understand. It will be a permanent move. It will no longer be a loan. One, it's better for him. Two, we have a buyback clause. And three, he's a massive talent and he needs to be getting game time somewhere where they can fully invest in him. And as long as he's constantly going on loans, you can't really invest on that player for that much. So I want to know what your thoughts are on Charlie Patino potentially being sold. For me, I understand. I understand why they're doing it. I understand why the player would want to leave. And I think it's best for both parties. And this just means we're going to now be getting in a midfielder guarantee in the summer to help push on this team. And we're getting to a stage in the project where we need to have players in many different positions that are of the quality and are old enough and good enough to play. And if you are not old enough and you're not, if you're old enough, you're good enough to play, ladies and gentlemen. And Charlie Patino is old enough. And at this moment in time, if he's not getting game time week in, week out, we understand why Arsenal would move him on. Now, my first question to you guys is, before we go into anything about Chelsea or Arsenal, we'll save that for the end. But my question to you guys is, what do you guys think about the whole Charlie Patino thing? And also hit the like button. We only got 6 likes on the video so far. We have at least 30 of you guys in the chat. Make sure you do hit that like button. How do you feel about Charlie Patino potentially leaving Arsenal? For me, there are better players out there than Charlie Patino within the academy at this. Sorry, that's not the right way to phrase it. There are better players right now within the locker room that are better than Charlie Patino and are ready to play and help Arsenal right now. He's a little bit lightweight. I agree with you there. He needs to improve on his physicality. He's not ready yet to contribute to Arsenal Football Club at the way that we need him to compete. If he was to stay at Arsenal, he most likely would be bled in year out, playing small limited game time, where he probably wants to play a lot more. I don't know how old Charlie Patino is right now. Let me just check. Charlie Patino is currently 19 years old. He wants to get more first team football, and he's not going to get that at Arsenal Football Club. That's the reality. At the pace that the project's moving at, if you're not ready to contribute in the first team right now, you are not ready to be in and around the squad. That's just the reality. Now, even for guys like Russell Walters and stuff, people were saying throw him in. It might be too soon to be throwing those kind of guys in. I think as a football club, we need to view these young players as potential assets where the club can sell them on in the future. That's the reality. That's what they should be viewed as. They should be viewed as assets that we can potentially sell, and we can maybe move on. Egal, don't trust Terry. Nah, Terry's my guy, man. Terry's my guy. Yeah. So people talking about Balogun and Patino. Bro, we might sell both of them. That's the reality. The reality is people want Balogun and Patino to get into this team, but we might be looking to sell both of them. David Onstein had this to say about the potential of selling both Balogun and Patino. Let me show you what he had to say. He had this to say. Big up to the 30 people in the chat. Make sure you guys do hit that like button and let me know what you guys are thinking about this article right here. So Arsenal are actively in an option to extend Patino until 2015. Unlikely to do further as Mikel Arteta's plans in his next season. Like Folarin Balogun, Patino prefers not to have another temporary move from Arsenal and is prepared to pursue a career elsewhere. So the reality is both of them are most likely going to be leaving the football club. These are two of our highly touted youngsters. You have Balogun, who's absolutely killing it in France. You have Patino, who's absolutely doing amazing things at Blackpool. Even though they got relegated, he's been one of their better players. At the end of the day, we have to view the academy system as a system where the players come in and they eventually get sold off if they're not going to be able to contribute right away for the first team. Now, Balogun did get an opportunity last season. He did. Let's not lie. He did get an opportunity last season, and he didn't really take that opportunity so well. So, with that being said, I'm not so shocked that he's going to want to leave. Eddie Nketiah is ahead of him in the pecking order. Jesus is ahead of him in the pecking order. Trossard's ahead of him in the pecking order. There's a lot of players ahead of him in the pecking order. So, with that being said, why would we be surprised that not only is Charlie Patino looking to leave, but Folarin Balogun will be looking to leave also. And Balogun has made it quite clear that he doesn't want to get in the team and be like third in the pecking order, where that's probably where he would be third or fourth minimum at this moment in time, in my opinion. That's where he would be in the pecking order. So with that being said, I'm not shocked that these things are happening. Is anybody really shocked? Is anybody surprised? Why would we be surprised? We know that Arsenal are in a stage where we need to move like a big club, and big clubs, when they have youngsters that are not implementing themselves in the first team right away, and it's taking them a little time to think, you have to stop looking at the potential and you have to start looking at what you can do right now to win, right? Farmers League tax. I want to see Xhaka sell Xhaka as well. I think Xhaka is going to have a part to play next season. That's the reality. Xhaka is probably going to have a part to play next season. Xhaka is probably not going nowhere in the immediate future. That's just me. I think Xhaka is probably going to be here for at least a couple of years from now. We're not going to see Xhaka just being binned off just like that. That's just the reality of the situation. Xhaka is probably going to be there. What's the point of having a system then? The point of having a system is you produce players for the first team, which we have in Bukayo Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, and some of these guys. 2, you end up selling them off, like we have with Iwobi, Martinez, Oxlade-Chamberlain. You buy players, you bring them, you put them into your academy. Even if you buy them from abroad, like Southampton, we got Oxlade-Chamberlain from Southampton. We then put him in the academy, got him into the first team. He played a while, and then we sell them off for profit. Sometimes you sell players off for profit. Sometimes you actually keep them in and around the first team. That's just the situation that we have now. Chelsea are really good at doing this. Chelsea are really good at selling off players. Chelsea are really good at taking academy players and selling them off. And we now are interested in one of Chelsea's former academy graduates. This is the player we're interested in, Marc Guehi. Rumor has it that Arsenal could be moving for Marc Guehi and as cover for William Saliba. Now, let's be honest here. If we were to get Guehi, he would not only be covered. This would be a potential player who could push for that starting spot. He's a quality player, and I think he would be ideal for Arsenal if he could pull it off. This is a good center half who's already playing the Premier League experience, and would come in and make instant impact. It would not be something that would need like a couple weeks or a couple months to get sorted out. Like KVR is still not sorted out as a center half. I'm still questioning him. So yeah, this is what I first seen. The article came from the Express, and I would take Guehi in a heartbeat. I think Guehi's a quality player. Reports are claiming that Arsenal are interested in Guehi. The Sun revealed that he's one of the targets in the summer and shown interest and would look to add him to the squad and campaign finishes. The center back is in position to strengthen Arsenal, especially. And then, yeah, so there's numerous articles saying the same thing. Fabrizio Romano saying there's nothing advanced with Arsenal and Marc Guehi. They're monitoring him. It's just normal scouting. No decision has been made. Nothing concrete at this stage, Guehi, but top clubs are following him. Now, with that being said, let me know, would you guys take Guehi as a center back cover for William Saliba? I would take him in a heartbeat. I think he's a quality player, and this is not just sort of cover. How much money would he even cost? We know Crystal Palace are notoriously difficult to deal with transfer budgets and how much they usually would want for players. So they might ask for some ridiculous fees for Marc Guehi. How much would he cost? Who knows? Let's see what his market value is right now on like Transfermarkt or something. And he's 22 years old. The center half is 22 years old. His Transfermarkt value at this moment in time is 35 million. 35 million. So sounds about right, but I don't know. He's a penalty. He's awaiting the death penalty, life in prison. Who are you talking about? What are you talking about? Shut up. This guy, some people in the chat just write some crazy stuff, man. Some people write some crazy stuff in the chat. But yeah, we're gonna save some of your questions in the chat for a bit. People talking about get rid of the rookie manager, keep Patino. For fuck's sake, why we letting him go? Bro, this is the ruthlessness you have to have. As a top club, this is the ruthlessness you have to have. You can't just keep players forever. There's times where you have to look at the player and say, you know what, you're not catching. The project is moving so fast that we don't have time for potential. We need finished articles. And this means we're probably now going to go invest heavy in the midfield. Think about it. Charlie Patino leaving, and some of these players who are supposed to come up into these positions, that just means we're now going to go and spend big in the midfield. If we're going to go spend big in the midfield, we're blocking the youngster's path. Let him go to Brighton or wherever else he wants to go and spread his wings and become a better player. And in that case, we can buy him back if we need to. Right now, we're not in a stage to develop players. We're not in a stage for players to make mistakes. Mikel Arteta got knocked when we got knocked out of the was it the FA Cup was it the FA Cup we got knocked out of last year when he started him and Lokonga? Let's be honest, both him and Lokonga have to go. I would sell Lokonga also. There's no point of keeping these guys around if they're not gonna cut the mustard. I think we should move them on, and that is my plan with this team. That is my plan with this team, and that's what I think we should be moving forward. You don't hold on to players if they're not going to be able to impact your team, and they're not going to be able to do anything for you in the short to mediate term. And Charlie Patino, although it's harsh, and although you wish him the best, that's the situation we find ourselves in with Charlie Patino. That's the situation we find ourselves in with the youngster. It's unexpected, and it's suggested that we're going to probably now get a midfielder or two in the summer. That is the reality. That is the reality of the situation. It's suggested that we were going to get a midfielder or two in the summer, and we're probably going to move on a lot of players. We are. We're definitely going to move on a bunch of players. That's just how things are going to work. Which midfielders are we going to bring in? Ooh, now that is a question for a different day. The most people are gonna say which midfielders are Arsenal gonna bring in? Oh, we're probably gonna bring in Casado and Rice. I would take Casado and Rice in a second. Declan Rice is the guy. Dec- Dec- Declan Rice is the guy that we're going to probably be linked to for the remainder of this summer. Everything is going to be coming about Declan Rice, and this is what's just popped up 2 minutes ago about Declan Rice. Let me show you guys. So yeah, 11 hours ago we heard some rumors about Declan Rice. Give me support talking about Declan Rice, but yeah, Arteta want. Here we go. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. We're going to talk about selling, holding, and everything. Okay. Arteta wants to hold talks with Declan Rice as soon as the season ends. Arsenal are confirmed they can get it done. So it's pretty like legit. This is gonna happen. I believe at least this is going to happen if we pay the money to West Ham and the deal gets agreed. Everything's done on the Declan Rice side. Everything from Arsenal shows that we're seriously interested in getting Declan Rice. And if we get Declan Rice in, and we then go and get a Casado or a Mason Mount, where is there room for where's the room for Charlie Patino to ever get game time? Let's be honest. I like Patino. I can't really label a Wonderkid if nowhere near the first squad. Yeah, there you go. You can't even call him a Wonderkid if he's nowhere near the first squad. This is a guy who we considered and we once called. What did we call him again? We called him something. The Cesc Fabregas. They said he's the best academy player since Cesc Fabregas. It never translated into the first team, unfortunately. It's unfortunate, but he never traveled. It never translated into the first team. If you're not going to get into the first team, you're never going to really get an opportunity to play at the top level. That's just the reality. Now, this is the article this is the next thing you need to know. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? And why are we linked to more center halves? We're linked to another center half, ladies and gentlemen. We're linked to this guy here. Who is Josip? Uh, who is this? Who is this guy, and what do we know about him? You guys might ask. Now, what you need to know about Josip is Josip is a center half who's currently playing for Dynamo Zagreb. He's 23 years old, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He's 23 years old. This would be another player who could add more squad depth to this team, right? According to articles over in Croatia, we're looking for a transfer move for the player for around 17 million pounds, right? And Joseph is born in Bosnia, right? This is a player who joined Zagreb when in 2014 when he was a teenager. He played in the academy. He's been promoted to the first team, and he now has a total of what is it 74 appearances for the side. 74 appearances for the side. This is a guy who's made a lot of moves going forward. The center half is in the Croatian team and has been promoted to there. He's been playing in the Champions League for his club, and they will probably demand around 20 million euros if the transfer was to go through. This is a highly touted center half currently playing in the Bundesliga for RB Leipzig. Gvardiol has been linked for around 100 million. This guy they're saying has his type of potential in the future, but is just a little bit older. He's 22, where Gvardiol is I think 19. So Arsenal could be hitting a trick here, getting him in and signing him up. This is just a little bit about what you guys need to know about who he is as a player and what we could do. We could potentially find ourselves another player where instead of going and spending big on a center half, we could find ourselves a shortcut. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't want another KVR. I don't want another KVR. I would rather we go and we drop decent money on a center half that we know is going to improve our squad right away. And if this guy is going to improve our squad right away and he's going to take us to that next level, then bring him in. But I don't want any more. I don't want any more high profile. Uh, I don't want any more risks in the center half position. Like I feel like we made a big risk playing Rob Holding this season. I think signing Gavior was a little bit of a risk, in my opinion. But with everything that we've done, we need to focus on improving our squad. And I feel like that is the number one goal in improving Arsenal Football Club. We need quality center backs. Look at Manchester City; they have six or eight defenders that they can rotate into that team. Napoli, forget about it. They're never going to sell that guy for anything cheap. They are notoriously known for being difficult to deal with. That's why Osimhen would be difficult to sign for anybody. Now, this is what they're saying about the Dynamo Zagreb player. Arsenal have been scouting him for 6 months. Arsenal scouts are expected to travel to Croatia as soon to watch Dynamo Zagreb's center half Josip, and told Arsenal have been following him for the last 6 months. Sultan is outstanding form this season and becoming a pivotal part of the Zagreb project. Estimated 18 million price tag, and contract expires in 2028. So I wouldn't be surprised in if a year time he cost even more and he went to a different club and we didn't sign him. I hope that we do make whatever signing we get in the center half position is a quality player and comes in. But yeah, Gabriel is the best center half at Arsenal right now. But with Saliba out, the drop off in quality is massive, and we have a problem in the center half position. We need to fix that. We cannot continue to sit idly by as our center half issues just continue to slap us in the face year in, year out. We always come short with an injury here and there. Luckily, this season, when we had an injury in the striker position, we didn't have the same problem. But my question to you is, could Arsenal sign a striker? Do you think Arsenal should sign a striker? Let me know, guys. Question. Anyone who comments after this comment here, I'll read it. Let me know. Should Arsenal sign a striker? Because Arsenal is linked to several strikers at this moment in time. Yes, we are linked to several strikers at this moment in time. We are linked to We are linked to what do you call it? 1 second. Ivan Toney. Yes, we are linked to Ivan Toney. People saying yes, 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 yes. Okay, yes. So we're linked to three strikers that we are linked to, and let me tell you their names and what they're going at. So their names are Vlahovic, Watkins, and Ivan Toney. Those are the three guys we're linked to, and Arsenal could sign one of them potentially. Dusan Vlahovic rumors have resurfaced. Watkins rumors are surfacing again because he's in really good form, and Ivan Toney rumors have resurfaced once again also. So with all of those surfacing, this is the situation we find ourselves in. Please bring Vlahovic. Vlahovic hasn't worked out at Juventus. 45 million probably, or to 60 million probably do the job. Dusan Watkins and Ivan Toney probably will cost more than Vlahovic, but they're Premier League proven and they'll come in right away. For me, I'm not saying Watkins is not good enough, but I think Ivan Toney is the best out of all the three. I don't really think Vlahovic is a bomb. I just think Ivan Toney and Thing are better. That's just me. But yeah, those are the rumors right now with those three strikers. Let me know who you guys think we should get. And yeah, go ahead and ask your questions, guys, because at this point, I am going to have, if you guys watch the SDS pod, I'm going to have Sean they used to be on the SDS pod coming on tonight at 5 p.m. for the Chelsea preview. And then what do you call it? Okay. And then I'm going to have Matisse hopefully tomorrow so I'm going to make a big deal out of this game. So I'm going to have Matisse on then, and then I'm going to have, I'm going to have Sean on later today at 5 p.m. with the match preview. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting day. Yeah. So big up Sean. Yeah, Sugar Sean. But yeah, I'm out of here, guys. Honestly, I got to kind of go because I need to spend some time with the wifey. But if you guys got any questions, could have got Isaac, bro. I regret not going for Isaac personally. Personally, I regret it. I wish we did go for him. But yeah, it's unfortunate. What are you going to do? Predictions for tomorrow's game. You're just going to have to keep an eye out for the preview. When I talk about the preview, I'll do a full prediction and everything there. Arsenal beat Chelsea. Yeah, we're going to beat Chelsea. It's going to be easy win. But it's going to be easy win, but it's going to be an interesting win too. Let's see, hopefully, what happens, because Chelsea fans don't have anything to celebrate this whole season. If they beat us, they're going to try to hold on to the fact that they beat us on the season where we're trying to go for a title race. They're going to say, oh, we ended your title hopes. That's what they're going to say. So we can't let that happen. What time's the preview? I'm going to do a preview at 5 o'clock today. I'm going to do a debate show tonight at 9 or 10, depending on what time I'm available. And I'm going to do Matisse and me are going to do a match day preview at 5 o'clock tomorrow. So yeah, don't learn. Modric scores his first goal at Arsenal against Arsenal. I'll be fuming. But yeah, I'm out of here, people. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Big up to everyone who's watching. Hopefully you guys do smash that like button. And if you're watching this on the playback or you're watching live, shout out to you. Love, respect to everybody who watches the channel. I really do appreciate it. I'm out of here, people. Peace.